there BookTube, it's Eleanor here, and today I'm doing my January TBR. It's quite a big one. They're stacked up here, all falling all over the place. But I've tried to combine a bit of everything in here. Some light reads, some graphic novels, some non-fiction, and just books that some of them new, some of them not so new, but just ones that I really want to read. So let's start with, if I can pull them out separately, the graphic novels. Many of these, if you've watched my book haul for Christmas, will have seen these because I just really want to get to them and they were gifts. The first one is Adventure Zone by a plethora of authors, and this is a graphic depiction of a podcast which is run by a family who play these adventure role-playing games together, and it's sort of a graphic depiction of this role-playing game that they play. It's meant to be hilarious, so I'm dipping my toe in the water with this one. Also, I'm going to be reading volume 1 of My Brother's Husband, which is by Gengoro Tagami. This is a manga and is about a single father who lives in Tokyo with his young daughter, and all of a sudden a big Canadian man turns up on his doorstep and says he is the widower of the young father's gay brother, estranged gay brother, and so this follows sort of an interesting look into family dynamics, and I don't know if it's homophobia, but we will find out, so I'm looking forward to seeing. And Hench Girl, which my husband got me, which looks hilarious, which is by Kirsten Gudsnack. This is about sort of a hench girl with a heart of gold and looks really fun. And then one that I got a while back, which is Giant Days volume 8. I love this. I've really been enjoying this following this series about a group of girls at university in the UK together. It just brings back nostalgic memories. Next, I've got some fantasy books and science fiction books that I want to read. I want to finally get to Spinning Silver by Naomi Novik. I really enjoyed her first book and I can't believe I haven't read this one yet. I've had it for ages. I'm procrastinating because of its size, I think, but it's about time that I read it. I've got what is meant to be a bit of a science fiction romp across the galaxy, A Big Ship at the Edge of the Universe by Alex White. My husband also got me this for Christmas. It's about a race to hunt down this warship. There's all sorts of people racing to this warship. It's meant to be fun, fast, action-packed and have a sort of Firefly-esque vibe. I loved Firefly, so I hope it does feel a little bit nostalgic like that. I want to carry on my Sarah J Maas Throne of Glass reading. I need to read The Assassin's Blade, which is the Throne of Glass novellas. So it's really time that I get reading this. I just want to start moving through these. I don't want to lose the momentum of the story and forget what's happening, so I want to get to this one this month. I will keep putting it on my TBR until I read it. Also, one which I believe has got a science fiction element is The Afterwife by Cass Hunter. This just intrigues me. It's about Rachel and Aidan who fall in love. They think it's going to be forever, and she is a brilliant high-flying scientist. And then she dies, I think, but she leaves her husband with their daughter. But she leaves behind her life's work, which is a gift called I, Rachel, which I wonder if it's going to be some sort of computer program that behaves like her, or some sort of memories of her. I just think it sounds intriguing and I want to get to this one. It's been playing on my mind and needing to pick it up, so I've added this to my TBR. A non-fiction that I've picked for this month is Death at SeaWorld by David Kirkby. I've heard brilliant things about this from a friend, and so I've picked it up and I really want to read more about this. This became especially prevalent to me while we were on holiday actually. There was a park in Tenerife that had captive killer whales. I feel very uncomfortable about this and about keeping them in captivity, dolphins and killer whales. And it became a bit of a topic for myself and my husband, discussing whether it was somewhere we wanted to take our daughter. Would we be feeding into this industry if we visited this place? We knew she would love it, but ethically it challenged our feelings about it, and we didn't end up going because we just couldn't get past this feeling of it just not being right. So yeah, I'm interested in reading more about this. This is about killer whales. It's about SeaWorld, about this death that happened, and it's looking into into the sea worlds there. It says Shamu and the dark side of killer whales held in captivity, so I'm looking forward to reading this one. I'm doing a buddy read with a couple of people which I'm very excited about, and we are reading Frankenstein in Baghdad by Ahmed Sadawa. I'm looking forward to reading this. This again has got sort of a magical, fantastical element to it. It's set in Baghdad. It said Hadi collects body parts from the dead and stitches them together to form a corpse. He claims he does it to force the government to recognise the parts as real people and give them proper burial, but when the corpse goes missing, a wave of eerie murders sweeps across the city and reports stream in of a hideous looking flesh-eating monster that cannot be killed. This sounds really interesting, and a really interesting modern twist on Frankenstein. And then some contemporary stories that I'm interested in reading. First is Not the Girl You're Looking For by Amina Mai Safi. Again, this is one I got for Christmas, set in Texas, about a young Muslim girl, her exploits and her growing up. It says it's a gorgeously written coming-of-age debut, tells a fresh, funny and real story of angry, messy teenage girls, complex relationships, and how easy it can be to hurt those around you, especially if you love them. So that sounds brilliant. Another one which has got a bit of slightly dark edge to it, Monday Is Not Coming by Tiffany D. Jackson. I read Allegedly by this author and really enjoyed it. This is about a girl Monday who goes missing and her best friend who's determined to find out what's happened to her. There's Cinder and Ella, which is a modern fairy tale or a modern Cinderella twist by Kelly Oram. This is about a girl who has been in an accident. She's 18. She's left crippled and scarred and without her mother. She's forced to go and live with her father and her stepmother, who and the awful step family. She wants to go and live on her own, but she needs to prove that she is capable. And there is a sort of relationship between someone on the internet as well, a best friend on the internet called Cinder. We shall see. I don't know much more about this one. And the final one is Only Love Can Break Your Heart by Catherine Webber, and this is set in the desert and is about two people finding each other, both in need of something. I don't know much more about it. It's about you know, it says Reiko loves the endless sky and electric colours of the Californian desert. It's a refuge from an increasingly claustrophobic life of family pressures and her own secrets. Then she meets Seth, a boy who shares a love of the desert and her yearning for a different kind of life. But Reiko and Seth both want something the other can't give them. As summer ends, things begin to fall apart, but sometimes a broken heart is all you need to set you free. So that sounds really interesting and a bit moving, and I like that in my romancy YA contemporary stories. Loads of books here. Not sure I'm going to get to all of them or even half of them, especially as I also have my biannual bibliothon readathon coming up, where I'm going to be taking part for the week of that. So my TBR for that is slightly different as well. We shall see. There's quite a few graphic novels in there, and I've been reading quite well, but I'm not going to push myself to read them all, but I've definitely got a nice pile there that I feel happy to be picking from. Anyway, have you read any of these? What are your thoughts on my TBR? Any books that you think I should start with? Let me know as always in the comments down below, and I look forward to speaking to you soon. Bye for now, BookTube.